Day is tomorrow, so what better to talk about than how to save on date night and family activities? So just getting out of the house, things that you can do, ways to find some discounts on those items. I know that we're all about saving on groceries and the things that we're purchasing, but your family is probably doing things as well, and figuring out how to cut the costs there can be important, can be huge. So in our family, I am very much a kind of experiences mom. I would rather take you on a trip or have a day out as a family than pretty much anything. My teenagers probably hear that the most from me. I just want their time more than anything. They get on to me saying that I sometimes always demand more and more, but I get it. They won't be here forever. So we need to figure out how to do those activities, but on a budget. I am 100% okay with any questions that you have that are off topic as well tonight, though. So any questions you have, feel free to leave those in the comments and I will try to answer them, whether they are about date night and activities or whether they are about printer deals and anything else you're looking for. So ask away in the comments. I am glad to help you figure out how to save money on what it is that you need to save money on. So to dive in, I will say the first big thing that I wanted to hit on, kind of in the line of date night and with Valentine's Day tomorrow, is date nights are incredibly important. And on a tight budget, they feel like they are one of the first things that goes. If I were to look at your budget, the first thing that I would probably try to approach for most people is how much are you eating out? Can we eat in more? So to start there, because I don't want to sound like I'm approving one and not approving another, I do encourage you to eat in as much as you can. I'm not trying to say that we need to figure out how to budget to eat at a restaurant every single week. That's not doable for most of us, but I would encourage you to find time, even if it's at home, that is date night time. So my husband and I do try to go out on a regular date night if we can. Lately, life's been super busy, so date night last week meant we just got away for a few minutes and literally went to Tractor Supply. So that may not seem exciting, but it was making that concerted effort to have some time away. We even told someone in the store, oh no, you go ahead of us. You check out in front of us. We're on date night. We're not in any hurry. And it cracked him up. So we will confess, even in Tractor Supply, that is what we're doing. But that's the important part. So I don't want you to have this mindset that date night needs to be always uber fancy. Now, I'm not saying that our only date nights are to Tractor Supply, but we don't need to set the bar that every date night is going to cost $100 either. It's just figuring out time away or time at home, but that is exclusively your time. So date night can even be a number of things planned inside, planning a game night between just you and your husband. When was the last time you did that? We haven't done that recently, but we should. We own a ton of games in this house and a ton of games that work for two people. So getting the kids in bed, finding something that you can do, just the two of you, that doesn't mean we have to go out. So another thing that is a regular routine in our house and has been since our children were babies, and I've actually shared it with y'all a number of times, is that every Sunday night in our house is Chinese night. So this is when we eat Chinese food. We make it ourselves. It could be even a deal on P.F. Chang's or the Innovations. Those are our go-to frozen Chinese meals, but these do not include our children. They go to bed and we are eating dinner at 9:15, 9:20. It's not ideal, but this is how it's always worked for us. And part of it is also our evening schedule on Sunday nights. We get home from night church around 7:30, 7:45. The kids get their dinner and they're in bed by 8:45. Then we're working on dinner. We eat dinner, we watch PBS Mystery every Sunday night. This is our time. Now, this is the only night of the week that we do this. We do eat dinner actually as a family around our dining room table most nights of the week. That is very important to me. But Sunday nights, that is different. That is our night to hang out basically and have our own routine, and has been this way, guys, literally for almost 18 years. It is Asian night in our household. So it's little things that you're going to make that effort to put aside do not have to cost an arm and a leg. Now, I know that that's something we do. I can easily grab P.F. Chang's and Innovations and stir-fry kits every time that I see them on sale, and we just have a whole little stockpile in the freezer because I know that we're going to have Asian dinner every Sunday night. Now, the downside is that our kids love Asian food as well, but they don't get it very often. So I guess we got to figure out a way to make this as a compromise for everybody. But that has worked really well for us to fit in that time. Now, all that said, we do actually go on legitimate dates as well. And I encourage you there to make that time too. I'm just kind of wanting to hit home on the fact that we can have date time without having to spend extra money. Now, how do we save when we're actually going to leave the house and have an official date that isn't to Tractor Supply? My first big one is gift card deals, guys. You need to grab gift card deals when you see them. Last week we had buy a $50 Chili's gift card, get $10 back in CVS Extra Care Bucks. Or you head to Sam's, and Sam's is always running discounted gift cards. So if you're shopping on Sam's website and you're hunting around, just type in gift cards and you will see all the current gift cards that are on sale. I recommend just scroll straight down to the bottom, and the largest discount items are going to show up right on the bottom of the site. So some of these are, not the best locations for gift cards or for date night maybe, but you will find a number of things that are good discounts. This is Logan's Roadhouse, along with a few other restaurants that are all included there. We even had, I remember, a date to Gordon Biersch before we were even married. So grabbing gift cards like this, this is $100 in gift cards to those restaurants, but you're only paying $75 for them. So looking for those deals, maybe it's not your ideal of where you wanted to eat, but you just saved 25% off of dinner. If you're smart, you can stretch this gift card into a couple meals as well. So I'm all about water on date night if that's what we need to do to be able to get as much as we can on a gift card and as much as we can in terms of 2 date nights. This is about meeting the budget and still having that time, right? It's not necessarily that we went to the fanciest restaurant in town. Let me just go ahead and confess to you, I have never eaten at a Ruth's Chris, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to. There are still plenty of great restaurants in town that you can find good gift cards for. And I know that my husband still loves me, right? That doesn't, where we eat for dinner and whether or not it's some $5 sign restaurant has nothing to do with how much I feel that my husband cares for me. So do not make that what you're looking for as well. But gift card deals and going where the gift card deal is to is huge. And a lot of times, how many times do you head out on date night and neither of you even care where you're going? Where do you want to eat? I don't care. Where do you want to eat? Perfect. Let the gift cards decide. So as you've gathered deals or people have given you gift cards, then sometimes that's it. Like, well, let me give you the options. We can go to Cracker Barrel. We don't do that one very often. Red Lobster, Cheesecake Factory. I love these. These are awesome gift cards. When we see a number of deals on them too, by the way, you get a lot of variety all in one card. So whenever you can find some of these, hunting around and grabbing those deals to give yourself a little bit of, more options anyway. The gift cards still cost the same. Still a $25 gift card. There's no added fee to that, but you get to use it in a number of places. And we do, I promise, see deals on these. Or it's where you might have a coupon too. So you do still see if you sign up for their rewards programs, their loyalty programs, they'll offer you free desserts. They'll offer you free appetizers. So making sure you're signed up for those. Longhorn is one of the best for sending some coupons if you haven't signed up for their program. Keep in mind, even a lot of these folks have apps that offer promotions through their apps. So Texas Roadhouse is a really good one for that. If you have the Texas Roadhouse app, if you've never signed up through it, you get a free appetizer just for signing up through the Texas Roadhouse app. So these aren't fast food restaurants. These are restaurants, but they're still offering you some perks to take advantage of their loyalty programs and their mobile apps, just like the fast food restaurants are. So always be on the hunt for those promotions and those gift card deals to try to save a little tiny bit. It all adds up. I promise you it does. Okay, so, Wendy's chiming in and saying, in birthday freebies, that we have not ever done that for date night, but you could definitely have quite some deals running around with birthday freebies and taking advantage of the various offers that stores are giving you, for sure. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments tonight. It is just me for a bit. My husband is out of town tonight, so you get me all by myself talking about date night, I guess. So in terms of things to where you're going to eat, you're looking for gift cards, you're looking for promotions, but then in terms of what are we going to do, or maybe getting the family to head out. This one is a site that's been around for ages, guys. It's still around, but that is checking out Groupon, seeing what is available on Groupon in your area. Could make for a fun date night, always. You never know what you'll find, or even just fun family events as well. It thinks right now that I'm currently in Charlotte, so it's showing me items that are in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm kind of close, but don't live in Charlotte. But $5 movies, you'll find a lot of local events that are on Groupon. You'll also find a lot of things to buy. So they have branched out into that in the last few years. But even this is a regular on Groupon, and that is bowling for up to 6 people. So 2 hours of bowling, including your shoe rentals, for 6 people if you wanted to. That is $52. And that's just the sale that they're offering through the site. Now, these usually get cheaper. So with Groupon, if you are looking at Groupon, they always offer some 20%, 25% off codes, usually 1 or 2 days a week, if not 1 or 2 days every other week. So waiting until you see those codes pop in and then thinking about, hey, do we have a birthday coming up? Bowling is actually what I asked for my birthday a couple years ago. Told you I like to have my family together, so we all went bowling. That's what I wanted to do. So if you've got something like that, then looking in advance, waiting for them, they'll email you, waiting for them to send you hey, we're running a 20% off of all local activities. Perfect. Let me pop in and see what you currently have on the site. They also do offer restaurants in some particular areas. What will be available in your area can be limited, obviously, to what area you live in. But the easiest thing to do is to come up to Groupon at the top and to sort. You can look for hotels and travel, but really to go straight to local, which is the top option. And then you can even say, I just want to see restaurants, so that we can get an idea of what is available. Make sure you're reading all the fine print for those restaurants. There are some, maybe they'll say you need to spend this much money, or I just don't want you to get kind of stuck on it. But most of them are more like a gift card. So this one, for example, is a $25 value for $14. Perfect. You know what you're getting. Now, there are a couple that I wanted to warn you about, and this is one of them. I actually have an actual card that a company sent me a while back. Restaurants.com could be a decent way for you to save. Really, this particular website, it sells basically like coupons off of your next purchase at restaurants that work with restaurants.com. But it's not the discount that you think it's going to be. So I'm just going to warn you there. There are some savings, but nowhere near what this card is telling you. This is not worth $50 at a lot of restaurants. What this is going to end up getting you is various coupons that will save you a little bit off of a dining out adventure. And when I say adventure, it's going to be usually a lot of hole-in-the-wall restaurants, which they can be great. it's not going to be restaurants that you've heard of most of the time. This is a website that really kind of pushes to get restaurants to almost advertise with them. I don't know that it really helps out your local restaurant very much. And a lot of times local restaurants get a little fed up with restaurants.com. They don't offer their offers on there for very long. So a warning there too, if you do buy a certificate from restaurants.com, you need to use it pretty quickly. We've gone into a few through the years that their certificate might even be just a month old and there'll already be a sign on the door that they're no longer accepting them. So just to warn you on that one. This is a big one, really, that we see around Valentine's Day. A lot of people will offer like, oh, get a bouquet and a $50 restaurant.com gift card. It's a great gift, but this isn't really worth $50 off of a restaurant. So there. No offense to them, but it's really kind of almost to a scam point, just to be careful there. There is a discount to be had, but it isn't anywhere near where you think it's going to be. So just to make sure we're all there. I don't normally attack places, so I don't mean it in that manner. I try to stay nice and kind, but I don't want you to get caught by that one for sure. In terms of other places to look for discounts in terms of activities and places to go to, I would encourage you as well, the gift card option for eating out, it still exists for doing things too. And I pointed to Sam's for gift cards earlier, but Sam's and Costco both, guys. So not just to, give points to one of the stores, but both of the stores do offer gift card deals that aren't just restaurants. So we will see a lot of travel gift cards running. Costco loves to run Delta and a bunch of other places, all at some good, 10% discounts, sometimes higher. Some of them aren't, crazy exciting, like Disney. You're going to save about $15 to buy a $500 Disney gift card, but I guess you saved something. They do run these from time to time a little bit better. What you're normally looking for is, I just kind of clicked on travel to see what was there. But from time to time, we will see both Sam's and Costco run like a $500 Delta or $500 Southwest for $450. That's a 10% savings. Yes, it is a $500 gift card, but if you're buying a couple airline tickets, that is still 10% off of your airline ticket. So don't look past it and think it's not worthwhile. They can be, definitely, if you're planning a trip. But you will also find gift cards. Oh, I don't know what I just clicked on. You will also find gift cards on things to do, not just where to go, not just things to eat. So hunting for those as well. Another one in terms of activities is to look at potentially joining for memberships. Now, this is more of a large family option, but for us with 5 children, we have long learned that at a lot of locations, it's actually cheaper for our family to become a member than it is for us to buy general admission tickets for 7 people. Now, obviously, that doesn't hold suit for a family of 2, but if it is a place that you think you're going to return to, or you're pretty confident you're going to return to, it's definitely worth looking into. Do they offer memberships that would then make that second trip free or would pay for itself after just 2 memberships? That's what I would recommend. Never get a membership deal for a place, a location, unless it was going to pay for itself in only 2 visits. Never say, yes, we're going to come that 3rd time, because you're probably not, unless it's in the city that you live in. Most of us, 2 is really where you're making potentially a smart financial decision to go with the membership option. But that 3rd required visit to break even on your cost, probably not a smart financial decision. Some exceptions, obviously, if you have 5 small children and it's the local zoo, just get the membership. But you know what I mean. An example for us, we absolutely love the Tennessee Aquarium that is in Chattanooga. That is one location in particular that for 7 people, hands down, it is always cheaper to get the membership. Just on one visit, it pays for itself. But even for us, we love the Tennessee Aquarium enough that if it was in 2 or 1.5 visits and we were there, we would probably still get the membership. It's an amazing aquarium. And no offense to my folks that live in Atlanta, but my whole family would vote that the Tennessee Aquarium is better than the Georgia Aquarium. So I don't know. We could have probably a whole heated argument on social media, but it's a pretty awesome aquarium. So if you've never gone up there, there's a plug to go visit Chattanooga and try it out. But speaking of aquariums, kind of a lead in there on the memberships are always to realize that these memberships to aquariums and zoos, which a lot of families have at least one of, many times there is I can never say this word right, a reciprocity program where if I have a membership to this zoo, I get a discount to attend another zoo. Sometimes it's a really sizable discount. Sometimes it's just a couple bucks, but it never hurts to ask. Never hurts to walk in, even to the Tennessee Aquarium, and say, hey, I happen to be a member of another zoo. Do you have a discount program with them? A lot of them do. So just take a minute to find out. What's it going to matter? You're never going to see this person again, right? If you're out of town, just let them tell you no if that's the case and walk away. But you made sure you didn't miss a deal, right? So just to plug that one, I know for us, being in the Columbia, South Carolina area, being a member of the local zoo does get you a discount if you want to go to a few different zoos and aquariums that are kind of in the surrounding states around us. So that's a yes, just for a lot of places when you take a second to ask about it. Okay. Let's see. And Karen says, today we shared a meal at Longhorn and had plenty of food and we didn't feel guilty about money or weight and we left a big tip. So I love it. Yeah, if that fills you up to share a plate, go for it. And then you've got a little extra money to spread around and get another date night without breaking the budget for sure. So some activities that we love that do not have to cost as much. State parks, we are all about being outside. So finding a local trail, finding something fun that you can do that is outside that doesn't require maybe even having to pay. Sometimes they're free. Again, I'm in the Midlands of South Carolina. Well, we have a national park near us that actually doesn't have a charge to attend. So Congaree National Park, you can head down there. But even getting a park pass to a lot of these places, seniors, this should definitely be something you've already done and gotten the senior lifetime pass to the national park system to take advantage of those national parks, but state park passes. If you can regularly visit, that park pass pays for itself every single year, just on not having to pay the entrance fees to get in. But it gives you more options to say, hey, let's do this. We have this park pass and we should definitely be using it. Trying out all the local parks, a lot of historic sites that you can visit with those. These can be family activities. They can also be really fun date days. Just we're going to go explore a local park and see what it has to offer. It doesn't mean that you have to go and walk a 10-mile trail. I'm not making anyone go hike any trails they don't want to. But you might just find some beautiful places to go and have a picnic. So don't go like Jenny's making us all hike and we're going to become these extreme outdoors people. Just go have a picnic. We're not talking anything intense here. Just changing it up a bit and not having to spend a lot of money. And guarantee you, even if you don't have a pass and you're going to pay the $5 parking fee at your state park, with a picnic, it's still cheaper than a lot of restaurants that you would head to, and makes for a very fun time away, family or alone on date night, however you want to look at it. But don't forget about your state parks and your national parks that might be nearby. And in terms of other things to do, I was kind of pondering what my crew, if we've got a Saturday that's free, what they're going to ask to do. A lot of times it's not necessarily, a big event, but it's just looking for things that are in the city that maybe we've never done. That's just something fun. So outdoor markets, those are very trendy right now. My area actually has two, and the two are fighting back and forth to see who can get the most attendance. So if you do head to Columbia, Soda City on a Saturday morning is downtown, a downtown market that can be slammed with people. Lexington is another nearby city that is also doing the outdoor Saturday morning market thing and trying to get as many people that can attend there as well. These are free. You're just window shopping as you walk around, and you're getting out and about and just enjoying a beautiful Saturday morning. Didn't have to pay anything, maybe a meter, depending on where you parked, because most of the time you're in a downtown setting. Hunting for these things can be really simple to do. So if you are, new to trying to just find some things that are in the community, a lot of times it's the name of the city and local events or events this weekend. So just Googling, for me, if we'll branch out, we'll do another city here, but Googling, Atlanta, Georgia events this weekend, that's going to auto pull in a Google search where Google is really searching across various event sites and putting them all in on the same page. And so we can head to basically Google and their events page for this. I can click on today, I can click on tomorrow, I can click on this weekend, so I can see everything that's going to happen in Atlanta this coming weekend. This could be a fun thing to start searching a few days out, and you could find just some neat things to do that aren't your normal events for date night, or for just, we want to get out of the house. We're tired of being inside. I feel like it's been super rainy the last few weekends. So maybe that's where you are too, but you can find some really neat things to do. So again, all I Googled was the name of the city. I just typed in Atlanta to see what popped in, events this weekend. That's going to auto pull in this Google page and let you automatically search across the top. And I'll zoom here so you can see it by clicking any of these buttons. Maybe I want to go even further out. I want to go into next week, show me everything that's going on. Then I can get, maybe not everything's family friendly, do keep that in mind, but I can get some ideas of what is in the area, and maybe we want to attend it, or we want to put it on our possible list. All you got to do is hit the save event button. It'll be right there, all your saved events in their own little bucket, and then you can research them further. Not everything's free, obviously, but this is going to pop in a number of things that are free, so you can get an idea of what you may want to attend. This right here, guys, I would be here. I don't know if any of you live in Atlanta, but I think we should all go. Anyone that's in the Atlanta area. This is tomorrow night. Winter concerts at Woodruff Park Gazebo. Each Wednesday in February from 5 to 7, enjoy free musical performances from local artists. How awesome is that, guys? I know. I don't know if it's awesome enough to live in Atlanta, but if you already live there, you should attend. It's pretty fun. So this is a go-to for me. I know it's literally a Google search, so this doesn't sound like I've, changed your life in any way. But if you've not sat here and searched through specifically looking for the things that are heading up, and it's funny that is under the next week column and not on the tomorrow column, but it probably would show up there too if I did the same thing. There we go. It did show up on the tomorrow column. But I guess since it is every Wednesday in February, it is technically next week too. But hopefully that will help and give you guys some ideas of things to do that maybe you didn't realize. Donna, thank you. Donna's chiming in and saying Tuesdays is $5 movie day, or maybe $5.50 at Regal Cinema. So yeah, always hunting down and figuring out what those discounts are as well. I know a lot of AMCs also offer that Tuesday night discount. It's not a big night for moviegoers, so they're trying to increase attendance. If you're not sure if something like that exists in your area, you can always call your local theater and see if they offer any discounts on particular nights or senior nights or just discounts. You'll be surprised. They will probably give you an answer that you were hoping for, that they do offer some things, and maybe it's not advertised. Maybe you just had to do that little bit of effort to find where those offers were. So lots of ideas there. Now, the next thing that I wanted to hit on in terms of date night and family activities is a little bit of traveling. So if you're in that boat too and you're wanting to plan, a spring vacation, a spring break vacation, or early summer vacation, this is a really great time to do that. In terms of family activities, looking on VRBO, looking on even Airbnb. I'm more of a VRBO person than Airbnb. Hunting for places that are running discounts or that appear to be cheaper than others. I actually heard another mom talking about it. She wanted to take her kiddos away. We have winter break next week with our school. And she wanted to take her kiddos away. She realized the beach was actually really expensive right now. And then as soon as she switched it to look towards Asheville, North Carolina area, things got super, super cheap. So it is kind of figuring out where are people not going this time of the year. Mountains are kind of in that list. There's not a lot of snow in the North Carolina mountains right now, so you don't have a lot of skiers heading up in that direction. And it's cold. Most people are heading towards places that are warmer, not places that are colder. It's a great time to head to the mountains and to get a discount to do that. It's also a really great time if your spring break like ours happens to line up all by itself. And not when everybody else is taking spring break, not around Easter, not around the March weeks where colleges are taking spring break. And you start to realize, wait, this may be off peak. Do some hunting and see what's available to you, because that's one of the biggest ways to get a discount on any sort of travel is to travel when no one else is wanting to travel. You are going to get some really great discounts when there's a lot of availability. So thinking about that, looking ahead for your dates. Maybe your kids, are they going to get done with school before Memorial Day? That's huge. If we can travel before Memorial Day, prices are always cheaper. After Memorial Day, schools are getting out, all the schools are getting out, and the prices jump sometimes upwards of 25 to 45% over what they were just a week before. So if all of a sudden you realize, hey, we are done this year way earlier than we normally are, then this could be a really great time to take a vacation, not waiting until June and July when everybody's on vacation. For those of you that don't have kids, June and July need to be we hunker down. We do not go on vacation in June and July because it is going to be the most expensive months of the entire year to travel. That is when every family is having to squeeze in their vacation. It's the only time that vacations are going to line up for their kids' school schedule. So don't go anywhere. If you don't have kids that are in public school, if you homeschool, or you have kids that are grown and it's just you and your husband at this point, that is stay at home month. That is not travel month. You want to travel as soon as school gets back in September. You've got the whole rest of the year to travel, just not those 2 months. Even the end of August, you're good to start traveling again. But if you wait until after Labor Day, it's going to get even cheaper. So a big win for you for sure. Stephanie, you ask, why do I prefer VRBO over Airbnb? A lot of times it's the extra charges that Airbnb is tacking on. So you're going to find some really great rooms, and then you're going to find that there's little tiny charges. And Airbnb did come out, their corporate came out and stated that they're going to try to be way more transparent on those. So hopefully you're going to start to see those listed on the specific listing on Airbnb, but they're not always there. So you want to read some reviews. You want to read all the fine print on an Airbnb rental before you place it, because there are some places that like literally charge you to use their sheets and their towels. And maybe you're okay with that. Always bring your own linens, but if you don't know it and then you use them, that's an added charge. And it's after the fact. It wasn't when you originally, what you paid originally versus VRBO. What you paid generally is what you're going to pay. There's not going to be an added charge unless you broke something in the house on VRBO. We've done a lot of VRBO rentals in our time, so never had an extra charge on anything where that is not the case with Airbnb. So that's my only holdup, is just really, really making sure. A lot of times the reviews that are left will give you that eye-opener, making sure that they're going to say, like, heads up, this is going to be added, this is going to be added. You're going to want to know those things before you book that location. Many times these same houses are on both platforms, and that is okay too. It's at that point, whichever one you're the most comfortable with. So we can go anywhere here. And if you guys have questions on specific things, I'm glad to answer those. So if you want to leave any questions you have in the comments, we can definitely hop over in that direction. One more thing in terms of gift cards and finding discounts, and I didn't mention this earlier, but making sure that you are utilizing all of the offers that are inside of these apps that maybe give gift cards back. So if you're using Upside for your gas savings, or you're using Fetch, Ibotta, you can always turn those into your date night or activity little tiny savings accounts. So if you find, hey, we've got $20 saved up in Upside. I have $13.94 right now, so I need to save a little bit more. But you can always cash out once you hit their threshold. Most of the times it's $20. I can get a gift card to a lot of places. So if you're hunting around and you're looking for those, I had someone recently mention on Fetch that some gift cards now cost a little bit more. They were always getting CVS gift cards, and now CVS gift cards aren't an even 1,000 points equals $1. But if it does help, some restaurants are actually a better deal. So going in and getting a $25 gift card, or here's one, Applebee's, a $10 gift card to Applebee's actually only costs 9,500 points, not 10,000 points. So maybe you decide, hey, instead of using Fetch for CVS gift cards or Amazon gift cards, we're going to start to use our Fetch points for date night. Because now, and that's just one example on a $10 gift card, but if you've got even more saved up, the $25 gift cards, the discount actually gets better the more points that you have saved up on those restaurants. Chili's is one that I was looking at recently. We eat at Chili's a lot. But the $25 Chili's gift card right now only costs $23,500. So that's $23.50 worth of points to get a $25 gift card. So now I'm not only getting kind of a free date night, but I'm getting a free date night even at a discount. So taking advantage of your mobile apps for gift cards. You can always cash out a number of these as well. Fetch particularly you can't, but Ibotta, some of the others directly to PayPal, directly to your bank. But if you'd prefer to use them as a little date night / fund or activity / fund, you could do that too. So just to, make sure you don't forget that that's there as a little added bonus that you might already have some money saved up. Now, one side to date night that we've not hit on, or in particular, is childcare. Obviously, to go out on a date night, someone needs to be here to watch your children. Right now, in my world, I have 2 seniors in high schools, which is a magical place to be. But I know even for us, they won't be here in the fall. And I don't know that leaving my 2 younger kids with my 9th grader is that wise of a deal. Those 3 tend to not always gel quite as wonderfully as I would like them to. Not going to be a very long date night if we did leave them alone. So if you're in that boat, you need to have someone watch your kids. The easiest thing to deal with for childcare, honestly, is getting into a place where you've got some great friends and you can switch off. So maybe it's not an every week you're going to get a date night, but maybe it's an every other week. Hey, every Thursday night, one of us is going on date night. We're going to watch your kids this week. You're going to watch our kids next week. And we know that it's a standing every Thursday night. This way, nobody's life gets a little too busy. You watched their kids and they never watched yours back. That would really stink. But that can be a really cheap way to find some childcare. Another cheap way is to look around at local, really child-friendly places. So, for example, gymnastics gyms for kids, a lot of them offer parent night outs. So finding out, do we have any local kids gymnastics places? You probably have quite a few. It's very popular. And then calling and asking, like, hey, my kids don't go there. Just wondering if you do a parent night out program. A number of them do in my area, so I'm going to guess it's not just Columbia, South Carolina. So calling and seeing in our area, it's usually $10 a kid for the night, and that includes pizza for your kids. So they're getting dinner, and you drop them off anytime after 6 o'clock, and you need to pick them up by 9 o'clock. That's 3 hours at $10 a kid. Now, if you've got 5 kids, that could be a little pricey, but if you've got 1 or 2 kids, that is potentially cheaper than getting a babysitter. Now, obviously, you had to take them there, and you still have to bring them home and put them to bed, so I know that's not as fun as coming home and the kids are already in bed, but it can be a more affordable option. Definitely an option if you don't even know anyone that can babysit, right? So looking into those and seeing if you've got anything in your area that offers something like that can be a way to go. A lot of churches offer these parent night out events too. So if you've got a church that you're plugged into, or maybe some big churches that are nearby you, asking if they have this type of service event, and seeing if you can be a part of that too, whether you're a member of the church or just because you live down the street. Many times these are outreach ministries for the church, so they're happy to have you. Even if you are not a member of the church, they're happy to have your kids stop in and stay with them while you are going out on a date night too. So parent night out events can be a very helpful way to have an affordable night out. Obviously, the affordability part, the more kids you have, it's a little harder. But for most folks, that's going to work for sure. That's awesome. Karen's chiming in and saying her church last week had a parent night out totally free with pizza. So that's incredibly affordable. And I honestly wish, Karen, that more churches did that. That's something that we have a tiny church that we attend. And we've even gone in and said, hey, bring your kids, we'll watch them. But I think more churches need to be focused on helping parents to get out and have time to strengthen their marriages. So I love that they have done that for sure. So find those. There are definitely some in your area. And who knows, even just searching in your area, again, not just local events here, but searching parent night out, in the name of your city, you might find that a number of them have advertised in places so that you're not missing those. It's going to hopefully help you spot them and be able to enjoy those events. Okay, going across all the gamuts, but didn't want to miss some attempts at some cheap childcare. If you are going to pay a babysitter, it's tricky. Folks always ask me, what's the going rate or what is a good rate? I would honestly ask the babysitter. A lot of times it's based on what they've been paid at other people's houses. And that's really tricky. If you get someone who babysits for folks and they've paid them really well, and then you're the next person right behind them. So they may have a set rate that they can give you. If they don't, then I would ask them before you book a babysitter, would you be comfortable with, $10 an hour? A lot of times out of guilt, parents, we tend to actually pay more than this person was ever expecting. And I'm all for paying people well, but if you really can't afford the date night, don't out of guilt overpay the babysitter either. And, just to state that for my own kids who have been asked to babysit, they've had some folks that if you ask my 2 seniors, sometimes they'll even come together. Well, now you've got twins that are coming in to watch your kiddos, and the parents immediately feel the need to pay both of them. Well, that's getting really expensive for that poor parent. So, asking them up front so that you don't have that guilt. What in the world do I pay these people? It's going to help all around, because I promise you the teenager is just as nervous about talking about money as you are about paying them wrong or bringing it up. So just talk about it before you even book them. Hey, what is your rate? Or would you be comfortable with this amount? If not, can you tell me, what is the amount that you'd be comfortable with? And I think you're going to find that everybody's a lot happier. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you too, because you're going to know upfront how much that night is going to cost for getting a babysitter. And Wendy says there may be a liability issue for some churches and childcare. So if the church is already doing a Sunday school program in childcare, that's really going to end up covering them all the way around if they have the same people that are offering that childcare. Typically for churches, I can only speak for South Carolina, but South Carolina wise for churches to offer that, or it's really, we've already had background checks. To serve as a Sunday school teacher in South Carolina, you have to have a background check. So then to come in and run a parent night out, which is typically the kids in your own church and maybe a few visitors, you've already had those background checks and you're secure to do that. I would think the liability is actually going to come in with if you were to have them pay as a church. If they paid you for parent night out, then this is a service, and churches aren't supposed to do that in a lot of areas. So it can kind of be a tricky one, but it would just depend on where you are. What he's saying, your husband worked at a church for 22 years. Definitely, and it can just depend on where you are. I just know in our area, already having the background checks for that liability part anyway, you would know who was around the children. And Donna says her granddaughter's church is doing a parents' night out and the money is going towards a mission trip. That's an awesome way. So parents' night out, make a donation to help support the mission trip. It's a great service for the parents and a great fundraiser for the mission trip as well. I love it. Okay, so I don't have anything else that was on my list because I really just wanted to stick to dates and activities. If there are things that you've been wanting to save, I can gladly answer those. Or we can kind of end a few minutes early. We did hit a lot of things tonight, looking for discounts, looking for coupons. I guess now that I think about it, there is one more thing. It is still around, and that is mystery shopping. So I've mentioned it in the past on some other videos, not specifically on date night, but mystery shopping is still around and does work at restaurants. So if you are specifically looking for date night activities, most of these are not going to be things that you would want to take your entire family to, but you can find mystery shopping opportunities to local restaurants. Now, keep in mind with mystery shopping at local restaurants, they're going to ask you to purchase specific items. Now, sometimes it's something specific, very specific on the menu. Many times it's just that they want you to order from the full menu. They want you to order an entree, a appetizer, and a dessert. Some of this is going to be covered in some places. All of it may be covered in other places. Not a lot that's going to be then paid to you on top of that. So these mystery shops are going to basically be that you got a free meal out of the gig, but not that I got a free meal and I got paid. And there may be an occasional exception to that. But most of the times it's just your free meal that you're going to end up getting. So in terms of looking for mystery shopping, if you search for Southern Savers and mystery shopping, there is a post where I've put in a number of sites that I recommend going with for mystery shopping. And I'm hunting for it now. I'm not able to put in links into the comments, but I literally just Googled this and this is what came up. So you should find it too. Make money mystery shopping. But in the bottom of this post are a number of companies that you will find that you can get started with. Not all of them offer dining mystery shops, but a number do. And as we come out of COVID, keep in mind a number of the restaurants didn't run mystery shops during COVID. So those numbers will continue to grow as restaurants kind of get back into that budget. And the purpose for mystery shops in restaurants is to see how well trained that location's staff might be on the menu, on customer service. Did they offer you, the latest appetizer? Did they go through the spiel that they're supposed to go through? You'll have that list. Not that you're going to print it out and have it with you, but you'll know what they're wanting you to look for before you even sit down. We've done quite a few date nights that were mystery shops, even to Longhorn Steakhouse, which was very fun. So finding those, it's a free meal in the end, and you're forced to buy dessert at the end of it. How fun is that too, that you get to splurge or you have to splurge. So those can be fun to look for and can also help to make a very affordable date night as well. Sorry, almost forgot that one. That was kind of last on my list. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. We were a quiet group tonight, but hopefully this has been fun for you, just to get some ideas. I do encourage you, even if it's just to stay home and have movie night, have date night, and game night. If you hunt on Southern Savers as well under Frugal Living, you will see an entire section, and we did posts a long time ago, but they're all still there. So I haven't gotten any up. We kind of did this series, I feel like, for 3 or 4 years. And then after a while, you're like, okay, we've done this for 3 or 4 years. We're going to move on. But if you search under Frugal Living on the site and go to date ideas, there are hundreds of Frugal Date Friday posts that you will see, all different ideas for frugal dates. So that right there, hopefully, is going to be just a great resource for getting some creative ideas of how to decide what to do, how to decide where to go, and then just some fun ideas for you. Wendy's chiming in with a little bit more on mystery shopping. How does it work? So typically, Wendy, you're going to head to some of these companies. There's a lot of other companies that are out there too. Head there. You're going to get signed up with them. You'll get an email, or you'll see in a dashboard, they all kind of work a different way, what their current jobs are. And you'll have told them where you live. So you'll see all your options based on where you live. And you can kind of decide what you want to do, whether it's I went to Kroger and I ordered from the deli department, or I got the oil changed at the Chevy dealership, or I went to a restaurant. There are a lot of opportunities. Most of the time, they will end up paying for what you had to purchase and a little bit more. You're not going to make a ton of money on a lot of these options. For example, the oil change, paid for the oil change on a Chevy Suburban, which was pretty sweet, and then paid about $20 more. Mind you, it's still a lot of your time because you had to go get the oil change, and then you need to type up all the answers to the questions. Doesn't take a ton of time, but it's not, hey, I just made $200 either. I got the oil changed, which in today's world is quite a savings. But that's the gist of it. So to make a little bit more, you're going to want to sign up with multiple companies, not just one. Never pay to sign up. So as you start hunting for mystery shopping, you will see a lot of places that offer to put you on their lists. You never pay to sign up for mystery shopping. No company charges you to see what their mystery shop jobs are. And as soon as you see that, just close the website down and move on to another one to try. There are a lot of companies that do this, though. It's in the kind of whole customer service surveying and polling market. And there's quite a lot of consumer polling companies that run mystery shopping type events. There are a couple apps that also do this. One of them is called, I don't want to tell you wrong. I think it's MOBEE. But the Mobi app, I was going to pull it up just to make sure. Yes. So if you are ever looking for this one too, the Mobi app is kind of a mystery shopping secret shopper app, and you will see various missions that are in the Mobi app that are in your area. So hunting through the Mobi app and seeing if there's something in your area that you want to use. Try that one out too. This app is completely free and can be a fun one too. So there are some restaurants in here too. So as we talk, getting out on date night, it can be a way to find something fun. Might just be coffee out, but something fun with that one too. Okay. And do you submit your receipt? Yes, Wendy. Most of these are going to want a picture when you're mystery shopping, whether that was at a restaurant, whether that was the oil change. They're going to want verification that you did actually go and do what they told you to do. So if you're using the Mobi app, you're going to take a picture through the app. If you're using the websites and you're going to submit through their portals, you're going to submit whatever documentation it is to prove that you did exactly what they told you to do. I've even done one at Kroger where you went to the deli counter and you ordered 1 pound of a specific kind of shaved deli meat. They wanted to see that exact item, and they wanted the sticker off the deli meat that they, the printout that showed exactly how much you ordered and how much it was. So I'm kind of cutting that off the package so that I could take a picture of it and submit that as well. So you'll see what they're wanting and be able to submit that. It's part of the job. When you accept the job is exactly what they want to verify that you did it right. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end us there. We hit a lot of things tonight. Hopefully it saves you some money and you can get out and enjoy some fun date nights. I am not going to be able to do a drugstore video this week. I just started to realize what my tomorrow looks like with no husband here, running all these people and all their events. So I will not have time to do that. I do almost have all of the unadvertised deals typed up, and I'll try to finish them off tonight and get both of those lists fully updated. So if you head to the CVS list or the Walgreens list on Southern Savers, you will see all of the deals there. Just won't have time to spell them out for you in a video. And we are going to take next week off from a Q&A. It is winter break for my kids, and we are going to try to just have some really sweet family time while everyone is off from school. So no live Q&A next Monday night, but I will be back on the 27th. So 2 weeks from now, we will be back with a Q&A and ready to go. So if you've got things specifically that you have questions on, feel free to send me an email. I'm always up for more Q&A ideas. If not, we will just jump into one that I already have on the list. So thanks for joining me tonight. I am glad to help any way that I can. Send me a Facebook message or an email, jenny@southernsavers.com, with any questions that you have, and I will try my best to help. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you again soon.